It's Wednesday. Welcome back to Inside Gateway. We are back with Abby Kaufman. So, Abby, what do you do at Gateway Woods?
Well, I'm a houseparent, and I work with the kids. I take care of them. Sometimes I walk them to school. I have been making lunch, snacks, dinner, and like a nighttime snack,
Okay, so which house are you in?
Maple House.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been working here at Gateway?
Well, I started in June.
Okay.
Actually, so not very long. And it's been a very rewarding couple of months.
So what is one of the biggest things that God has taught you kind of in just really this short time?
Well, I hope I've been able to see some really incredible and godly models of parenting from Todd and Kara and Lucas and Andrea. Just the different house parents. I've been able to I hope that I've learned a lot of different strategies and like principles and techniques that I see them implementing for the kids. That I just have a lot of respect for that, and just they would handle situations in a way that I was able to look at and be like, wow, that was really incredible. So I've been able to see a lot of that modeled.
Very good. So what initially brought you to Gateway Woods?
Well, my uncle was a big part of Gateway Woods, and so we talked about... We're fine
dropping names, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was like, Tim Souter is my uncle, and so Gateway, I was always kind of just around or involved in Gateway activities and different things like that, and it was always a big topic of conversation. And what brought me here was, probably a month before June, I was talking to Judy Gehrig, and she said, hey, you should apply to be the house parent at Gateway. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then that same church service, she ushered me over to Clint, and so then I said something to Clint, and it just kind of all swept me away. And I'm like, oh, well, here I am, yeah. Very
good. Yeah, we all love Judy. She is a prayer warrior, and she is an encourager at heart, for sure. So tell us a little bit about your childhood, because you were in Japan most of it, right? Or some of it at least?
So I was a missionary kid and a pastor's kid growing up in Japan, and we moved around a lot, and it was amazing. I loved it because we would be like down in the southern islands of Japan, getting to experience that culture and that life, and then up in the mountains and experiencing that. A big snowboarder because of that.
That is on my bucket list, to snowboard in Japan. So
it's amazing.
Worth it? Okay,
it's worth it. If you do that, you will never be able to go to anywhere else without. It's incredible.
Very good. So how many years then were you in Japan?
17.
Okay. Wow.
And then I came to America a month before I started college.
Okay.
So I came back to America to go to college. So, yeah.
Very good. So, can you speak a little Japanese for us? I don't even really know what it... Say
Yes. こんにちは。私の名前はコスマミですね。何言おうかな。嬉しい。
Konnichiwa. Very good. All right, so what was your first experience with Gateway? Maybe you already mentioned that through your uncle and aunt.
First experience, right. I remember helping set up for the sale when I was pretty young. I remember coming to singings, especially during that Gateway sale week. Probably my first real memory and experience of Gateway was coming to the big sale.
Yeah. And so you were pretty young at that point? Or?
Yeah, I would say I was like 6 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool that the auction is obviously a big part of Gateway, but it's really just like one day. And it's just neat now that you worked here, you kind of see behind the scenes that auction really has nothing to do with the day-to-day. But without the auction, we couldn't do the day-to-day, so we're very thankful for that.
Right.
And that opportunity and all the support. Do we have any questions from the field?
Not yet.
Okay. So big changes are happening in your life. So can you tell us a little bit about Zach, the tall, dark, handsome man in your life?
He was actually the volunteer coordinator here at Gateway last summer, and he was staying in this Uncle Tim's basement for the summer, and I was really excited because I was always kind of curious what kind of person he was. I was curious to get to know him, and so then we got to know each other last summer. I pretty much fell in love with him last summer and was praying about him and just sure that he was like the person I wanted to marry. And then this summer rolls around and, you know, I got a proposal and I accepted, so I'm getting married.
Very good. So when is big day?
December 22nd.
Okay.
So,
3 days after my birthday. Sorry,
Right.
I'm not very good at math. So.
Oh, that's right before Christmas. Was
Yeah.
that hard? Cause
No, you just get bigger gifts.
okay.
You gotta wait longer, but you get bigger
Alright.
gifts. So.
Alright.
Very good. So December 22nd. That's exciting. So do you have lots of? Are you pretty anxious about that, or is everything coming together pretty good?
Everything's coming together fine because I think I'm a little bit of a minimalist. Frankly, if I shouldn't, we're going live. But right, I'm not gonna get stressed out about planning the wedding, just because if it's a complete mess and disaster and like tapestries are like falling or whatever, like I'll just think that's a funny memory, you
Sure.
know. So yeah.
And at the end of the day, you'll still be married. So.
Yeah, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that counts. So.
Very good. So, can you come up with like a fun memory that you've had this summer as a house parent, or just something that makes you laugh?
Yeah, there's a lot. I really love my residents in my house. They're all amazing, and it's hilarious. I'm really forgetful, and I lose my keys all the time. So, well, I lose everything all the time, you know. And my mom always told me that I would lose my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulders. And that's probably true. And so I think it was the second week I was working there, one of the residents, super sweet, he goes back to his room and he comes back with like this little green like floaty device, and he like gives me, he's like, oh, here, this is mine, but I think you need it more than I do. And I take it, I'm like, oh, what is it? And he's like, oh, you attach it to your keyring in case you like drop it in the water, it'll like make it float so you can't lose your keys or whatever. And he's like, because I know that you dropped it in the lake or something like that. And so he's like, so this will help you out. And my heart just melted. I was like, first of all, my keyring is far too heavy for that little float, so it won't work anyways. But it's absolutely going to stay on my keyring probably for the rest of my life.
Nice.
Like, it was such a sweet gesture.
Yeah, very good. So, do you have any other things to share at this point, or?
Maple House is the best.
Yeah, very thankful because hopefully we'll get inside Maple House again to show the reveal because it is fantastic. And it still has that new house smell to it.
Yeah.
I asked Todd, how long does that stay? He's like, not sure, but it definitely smells like a new, great house, and we're thankful for that. So thank you again for all your support and the dollars to help make that a reality.
Abby, can you share a little bit about school? Are you done with school? What did you study?
No, I'm actually, okay, I studied graphic design, but I kept on taking psychology classes just for fun. And then my professor convinced me to go back to school. So starting, actually, I was doing homework for my graduate school already. So I am launching off into graduate school to become a licensed mental health counselor at Huntington University in Huntington, Indiana. This coming week.
So how much longer do you have left yet?
In school?
Yeah.
I have 2 more years.
Okay.
To get my graduate license.
Very good.
That's not what that's called. That's not it.
Yeah, I don't know. So, a forester. Okay. So
A forester! Yeah, we're the foresters. Right.
Very good. Well, I've enjoyed this little chat, and we're going to wish you the best as you partake on your journey of marriage and school. So when do you officially finish here at Gateway?
My end date is the 27th, but I've been talking to Todd and Kara and Clint a lot about coming back in a couple of days in September, or just like when I'm needed, because I know that we really need assistant house parents. So if you're out there thinking, waiting for a sign, here's the sign. It's you.
And go talk to Judy Gearing.
Yeah, go talk. She'll convince you.
Just for the record, I don't think you're the first assistant house parent to come on staff because of Judy Gearing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman.
Yep, very good. So, all right. So next week, gotta do my calculations. I think we are going to be in Oak House with Keith and Emily Shambach. So don't miss out. So that's next Wednesday at 12:30. Thanks again, Abby. I really enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next week.